6:01 right now, getting us started on our good old Friday morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Your morning forecast is sponsored by Volunteer Home Mortgage. Give my friends Jerry and her team a call today at volunteerhomemortgage.com. You can call them at 865-238-7500. They are this morning's Wake Up with the Witcher sponsor. Happy Friday again, everybody. Sure hope you have a great day. We've got a lot to talk about here this morning. So I want you to strap in, grab a cup of coffee, because we're going to bring it all local when we get into our Saturday forecast. And I'm going to time everything out for you, talk about all modes of severe weather. Yes, they are on the table. And yes, tornadoes are possible. And not just tornadoes, but the possibility of some larger tornadoes that we don't typically see here in East Tennessee. Now, again, I'll field as many questions as I can. We can spend as much time as we want on the forecast here this morning, or at least the discussion. So make sure you check in and chime away at the discussion. All right, let's go ahead and start you off first things first with a picture. Let's see. Let's go to the weather maps here. I think we need to get the weather maps on here. There we go. All right, so we got the T-Dot cameras in the top left along with the radar. Nothing showing up on the radar here at this hour, but we will continue to see that radar fire up here as we head through the weekend. Yesterday, we made it into the 70s. We had a couple of isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. We saw some hail out there. I posted some of that to my social media accounts. So again, that's kind of a sign, really, of an unstable atmosphere and things that are getting ready to head our way, which again starts on Saturday. All right, let's show you the big picture now. Just getting you out the door here this morning. Good morning, by the way, Ronnie, Cheryl, Rachel, Deborah, Linda, Tom, Carol, Krista, Mel, and Julie. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so we have a few high-thin clouds, mid to high-level clouds that are going to stream on through the area. Again, not a big deal. We do have just some high clouds that are going to be present across the area. That should be about the extent of it. Today is going to be a quiet day. If you got to hit the road this morning, temperatures are a lot more comfortable. Just like yesterday, we're a few degrees warmer in some locations, but we're in the 40s and the 50s. Lunchtime temperatures are going to be great. We're going to be in the mid to upper 60s. Afternoon highs will be warmer than yesterday, mid to upper 70s. It's going to be a rather breezy and gusty day. And so we do have elevated fire danger that we're going to be talking about as well, especially across the mountain counties where a high wave wind event is expected to set up shop. Good morning, Scott, Tammy, Joanne, and Sharon, as well as Kelly out there. So is there a way to turn closed captioning on? If you're on YouTube, you can. If you're on YouTube, you can turn on it. Closed captioning should be on, but that I am not aware of. All right, so we're going to be in the 70s, 77 at 6 for the evening rush hour. Dinner time, 75, 72 as we kind of wind down the evening. Today is going to be a great day. Of course, kids are going to be out of school. Kids are going on spring break. If you have travel plans, a lot of flights leaving Knoxville here today. A lot of folks are going to be hitting the road. I'm going to stress this morning, don't travel west and don't travel south. I would wait till Sunday. I'm just going to throw it out there. I said it yesterday when Laura asked the question because her daughter needs to leave today. Listen, I just wouldn't want to put myself in harm's way, but that's me personally. So let's talk about the high wind warning that goes into effect tonight. That runs all the way through Sunday morning. Winds in the mountains are going to be south 25 to 40, gusts up to 80 miles per hour. So we are talking about a very strong storm that's going to produce incredible amounts of wind. Just generally, it's going to produce a lot of wind. But then we will continue to see the severe winds break out once the storm moves its way on through. So here are your weather headlines. Warm and gusty today with elevated fire danger, especially in the mountains. Saturday starts with lingering showers and maybe a few storms as we get some decaying storms that are being advertised out of Middle Tennessee. That's going to throw some clouds our way. And there are some, listen, when we forecast severe weather, I was talking to somebody on social yesterday. There's no guarantee with anything, right? Winter weather is extremely difficult, but unforgiving with the public. But severe weather is also very difficult to forecast. Now, we know that all the ingredients are there, but do they all come together at the exact same time to produce the severe weather threat? Likely, yes, but we don't want severe weather, so it'd be nice if the cloud coverage kind of stabilized our atmosphere first thing in the Saturday morning. We have to be able to recover. Now, we do know that a line of thunderstorms are going to come on through, but do we recover during the afternoon to get discrete supercells to form way ahead of the cold front? And if we do, those will be tornado-producing storms. And then the line of storms comes through Saturday night. All right, so severe storms likely through the afternoon and into the evening hours. Scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Log on to easttnweather.com. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. It's going to give you watches and warnings and all notifications from the National Weather Service, lightning data, storms approaching, me going live for severe weather coverage. So you definitely want to download that app today. Nothing's changed since last Friday. Still expected a 970-something millibar low pressure. That equates to a strong Category 1 to a weak Category 2 hurricane. That's how strong this storm is. So anybody going to be traveling today, like I said, I wouldn't travel west if I were you. St. Louis, Paducah seems to be the bullseye, but you can't rule out anywhere around that. That's along Interstate 80, Interstate 70, Interstate 40. You got the Mississippi River Valley from Jackson to Tupelo, Mississippi, all the way into the upper Midwest. There are going to be flight cancellations all over the country because this has been swinging its way in from the West Coast. Big tornado risk, big tornado day across parts of the Mississippi River. Again, don't want to be traveling there. And a significant tornado risk. So the area shaded in red is pretty much the bullseye for long-lived, large tornadoes. Long-tracking, large tornadoes. You're talking EF3s, EF4s. This is the kind of storm that we're talking about here across the Mississippi River Valley. So again, you don't want to be traveling there. When we talk about the hail, we're talking about the possibility of golf ball, baseball size hail because we have such strong updrafts associated with the storm and cold air aloft. It's going to keep that hail suspended in the atmosphere for quite a while. And because of that, that's how the larger hail forms. And we have significant hail from St. Louis, Paducah, Memphis. So a lot of damage is expected from this storm across the Mississippi River. St. Louis, Paducah, Memphis. A lot of folks, you're probably going to see a lot of utility trucks traveling Interstate 40 today because they're going to be heading towards this event to help recover electricity. There's going to be a lot of folks going to be cleaning up after this event, that's for sure. St. Louis, Paducah, severe wind, and across the entire region, yes, severe wind, even non-thunderstorm wind can be probable because there's so much energy in the atmosphere. All right, so let me go ahead and just show you the big picture of the evolution of this and how this all plays out. Low pressure comes on through, warm front, a few decaying showers overnight tonight, some lingering showers tomorrow morning. The big event comes through tomorrow afternoon, evening, and tomorrow night. And by Sunday, things will quiet down, and we'll bring in some cooler air, and we'll also bring in some drier air. All right, that's what it looks like today into tomorrow. Now let's talk about Saturday into Sunday, and let's bring it to our local level. So big risk, again, let me go back to that here for a second. Big risk across the entire region, Saturday and Sunday. Again, like I said, I wouldn't be traveling west or south today and or tomorrow. Just hold off until Sunday. Life is way too fragile. Way too fragile. I wouldn't travel if I were you. But here we go. If you do, the East Tennessee Weather app will notify you no matter where you are in the country of severe weather or impending severe weather watches and warnings. And if you get caught in a tornado warning, just always be aware. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second, but just always be aware where you are. If you're going to be traveling, I have been fielding a lot of conversations on social. A lot of folks coming to the Smoky Mountains to do some camping. I'm going to be in a camper. Great. That's awesome. Enjoy it. But here's the deal. Hold off until Sunday. Or if you must go, look around where you're going to be. Is there a sturdy building? Is there a place that you could go take shelter in case of any severe weather, tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings? And don't discount these severe thunderstorm warnings because those winds are going to be howling. They're howling aloft. And so any severe thunderstorm warning is going to produce damaging winds. Probably the case. So the Storm Prediction Center here in East Tennessee has a level 2 and a level 3 risk for severe storms. This is a very rare storm. So that's a slight and an enhanced risk. So let's go ahead and break it down into the different categories, okay? Here we go. Tornado risk. Yes, a 5 and a 10% probability. That's high. Doesn't sound high, but that's high, especially for us here in East Tennessee. Then you break it down to a significant tornado risk, and really, that's extremely high. So we have a significant tornado risk, and the problem is if we can tap into this energy in the atmosphere, not that we want to, but if we do, we've got so much wind shear in the atmosphere, winds changing speed and direction with height, the storms are going to be twisting and turning. So we're likely to have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings and a slew of tornado warnings. I pretty much guaranteeing that. What we're talking about, though, is Saturday afternoon. So anytime after lunchtime through about 7 o'clock, if we can recover the atmosphere from the lingering clouds or decaying showers Saturday morning, this is likely to happen. If we don't recover, then we don't get that instability to be as strong. So maybe not nearly as much, at least during the day. But it's not over because remember, the cold front's going to be swinging through behind that. So discrete cells possible Saturday afternoon. Severe hail is going to be a possibility as well. So we could see some very large hail because we got colder air in the upper parts of the atmosphere, and we're going to have some very strong updrafts. Severe wind. So yeah, we're talking about significant wind with this system because the wind is going to be howling at 5,000 feet. And that's not going to take much instability to push this air up to tap into that. And once it gets up to a certain level, it's going to rise freely on its own. And that's when you get these explosive thunderstorms to be developing. And that's what we don't want to see tomorrow afternoon, unassociated with the main line of storms. So let me go ahead and break it down. This is just one model depiction. Please don't take this to heart. The general rule of thumb is, yes, we're going to see storms. Now, Saturday morning, let's pick up our timeline Saturday morning. Good morning, Lee. How are you, my friend? Almost forgot 6 a.m., my friend. Here we are. All right, so Saturday morning, we're going to have partly to maybe even mostly cloudy skies as showers come out of Middle Tennessee, storms come out of Middle Tennessee and decay. Then we get into the lunch hour and beyond, okay? So how does this all play out? If we have some of this activity, it may stabilize the atmosphere. But from Saturday, basically after lunchtime, we're gonna get a big old push of warm air, a big old push of unstable air out ahead of the main cold front. So again, as that first wave of energy comes on through in the morning hours, what does it do to the atmosphere, and how does the atmosphere recover during the afternoon? That's why you got to pay attention very closely. And of course, we'll have much more information tomorrow morning. And I'll be broadcasting live at 7 o'clock in the morning for Wake Up with Witcher Saturday edition. All right, so there's 7 o'clock at night. Now here comes the line of storms. So we'll go from 7 to 10, stop the clock there, and you can see how the line is going to really start to line up across the plateau. So, give or take about an hour or so. And of course, for you folks in Central Time, my timeline is there on Eastern Time. So that would be 9 o'clock Central Time, and maybe as soon as 7 p.m. Central Time for you folks on the plateau. But this is going to be a line of storms. And with this kind of an atmosphere taking place, this kind of a line of storms, you're going to get spin-ups. You're going to get little eddies to form. And this is where we'll have severe thunder. We're likely to have all severe thunderstorm warnings attached to this as it moves its way on through. I would be guaranteed to bet that. But do we get severe thunderstorm warnings with isolated tornado attachments to those warnings? Do we get tornado warnings associated with this line? Possible. Absolutely possible, because we have so much energy and wind in the atmosphere. There's midnight. So again, this is going to go through about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll start to see things kind of wind down. So I would I'd basically say from 2 p.m. Saturday through 2 a.m. Sunday morning is going to be your window to really stay alert. And I know I've got a certain tone in my voice this morning. I had it yesterday as well, because we don't see this very often. I've been asked questions, is this like 2011? April 27, 2011. This is probably the strongest, most significant event since 2011. We haven't had anything this major, so that's why I have a certain tone in my voice. I really want you to pay attention to understand. Make sure that your kids know exactly where to go in the house. Make sure that you have your emergency kits ready. Make sure that if you're in a mobile home or if you're going to be camping, find some alternative place to stay. That's why I said don't travel. Wait till Sunday. It's not worth it. to me. All right, so when we're talking forecast, this is what I want to paint a picture for you. Okay, so I've got proprietary information or model data that I can share with you. And this is the kind of stuff I can show during severe weather as well that really helps me identify possible tornadoes or spin-ups. So this is futurecast rotation, okay? This is going to take into account the spin in the atmosphere and the instability in the atmosphere. This, again, is just my in-house model. This is one model, so don't take it to heart, but I think it has a good idea. What I don't quite... So from sunrise to noon, notice there's not much activity. Again, based on this model guidance, maybe the atmosphere does not recover, doesn't see much. But watch this. As we go from noon to 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, here we go. This is the kind of stuff that we need to watch for. But again, as I mentioned, from noon till 7, I still think if we get supercell thunderstorms to form, tap into the air to rise freely, then we'll get supercell thunderstorms from noon to 7. And then after 7, like I said, we're going to have severe thunderstorm warnings attached to this entire line. Do we have tornado warnings? Probable. Look at this, especially for the Cumberland Plateau. So now let's go from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. Most of it's going to be across the plateau. So from Scott County to Morgan County, Cumberland, down across the southern plateau towards Cookeville and down towards Tullahoma along Highway 24. This is where we're going to have the greatest tornado risk through 10 o'clock. Then we go to midnight. So now we're looking at the Cumberland Plateau to the Northern Valley. So now we're including, and again, give or take a couple of hours here, Scott County, Campbell, Claiborne County, Morgan County, Anderson, possibly Knox and Roane County, down towards Pikeville, Dunlap, Whitwell. So that's what we can expect through about midnight. Then 2 o'clock in the morning, still likely, if we still have storms firing at that point of the game, still likely to have tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings. But after about 2 a.m., I think we'll be able to get some sleep. I will be broadcasting live during the entire event on all East Tennessee weather platforms. I'll walk you through a bunch of stuff. I'll show you what it looks like on the app, so make sure you stay tuned. Again, charge everything. Have a place to go. Don't go if you don't need to go. Life is too precious. We also have the possibility of flooding and flash flooding, so all-encompassing with this storm. Now, again, don't take these numbers to heart. I'm not saying that Pigeon Forge's going to get 5/100 of an inch of rain. You're going to get more than that, a lot more than that. But I think this paints a general picture of where the heaviest rain will fall, and that could be across the plateau. Now, the Cumberland Plateau, and that does include you folks in Morgan County, and I know you've already had a tornado this year. That does include you folks in Fentress County. I know you've already had a tornado this year. And now we've talking more tornadoes and the possibility of flooding and flash flooding. Also, I do have Witcher Weather Watchers. Again, I'll be sending out a text message to you guys later on today to give you the link. I can have storm spotters. I've got 40-plus storm spotters here in East Tennessee to help navigate the severe weather that's happening around East Tennessee. All right. Let's go to the 7-day forecast and show you what I'm talking about. After this storm system, we quiet down. It's still going to be rather gusty. Temperatures should be falling throughout the day on Sunday. Still pleasant, though, after the storms move on out. That 50% is first thing in the morning, by the way. Monday, we're back to sunshine and more seasonable temperatures. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, a little bit warmer. Another frontal boundary brings us another chance for showers, maybe some thunderstorms. It is March by all means. And we're back down to about 60 degrees on Thursday. Lots going on, my friends. So let me go to the chats and see what's going on. See if there's any major questions here this morning. Again, I want to try to field as many questions as possible. Mike, did you love seeing the lunar eclipse? Yeah, I did. So I left the hotel room this morning and I was like, looked up and I was like, oh yeah, it's happening now. That's cool. So the lunar eclipse, so hopefully you had a chance to see it. I'm going to be posting some pictures that a lot of folks have sent through social media. Scott joining us from West Knoxville this morning. Good morning, Laura. Is your daughter still planning on leaving today? Did you navigate that issue? Just going to throw it out there. Everyone is so jaded in the area about weather inaccuracy. Great, Russell, I agree with you. Everyone is so jaded in the area about weather inaccuracy and the difficulty of predicting the valley. They get complacent, and one day it's going to lead to a disaster. Amen to that, my friend. That's why I say, listen, don't. And when I talk to schools, I say this all the time. When I talk to schools, I said, don't discount severe thunderstorm warnings. They cover a much broader area and create much more damage here in East Tennessee than tornadoes. But with that said, we have the potential, we have the ingredients in East Tennessee to see some larger tornadoes, or maybe a few more than we typically would see. Is it a guarantee? No, it is weather. Nothing's a guarantee. Do we want it? Absolutely, positively not. Severe weather plays a different role in our society than winter weather, right? But I appreciate you, Russell. Let's see. You see that the closed caption icon is dim here, so the streaming provider in use isn't Paradox. I don't even know what you're saying here, Scott, but okay. All right, so Barbara says stay safe. I will definitely keep you posted, Portia. Good morning, Katrina. It's a little early. It is a little early. And the storm is incredibly stronger than we typically see. The pressure is incredibly lower than we typically see. This low pressure system is probably going to go down in the record books. I mean, everybody in the country is going to be affected by this storm. I mean, every single soul in this country is going to be infected by the storm in some form or fashion. Good morning, Lisa. How are you this morning? March goes big or go home, right? I guess it's going to go big at this time around. Let's see. Good morning, Christy. How are you this morning? If you have questions, I'll try to field as many as I can throughout the day today and tomorrow. Again, don't forget to tune in at 7 o'clock on Saturday morning, as I will do another live update. What's your weather watcher on duty? Julie Ward. Good morning, Julie. How are you this morning? Aaron started to the party. You feel bad saying Friday with the storms coming. Well, we can still enjoy the day, right? Carpe diem. Embrace the moments. Enjoy the sunshine. But plan accordingly. And I can't really stress enough that, we've got outdoor events. We've got the Shamrock Fest going on at World's Fair Park. I'm not saying cancel. I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying pay attention. Stay alert. Stay on top of it. And again, check in with those daily forecast weather updates, which I'll highlight actually right now for you because I want folks to see this. So if you go to the East Tennessee Weather app, this is what you're going to see. And again, when you open it up, I will have some forecast weather updates right here. And during severe weather events, I will be broadcasting live front and center at the top of the app. For some reason, the link's not working this morning. We will get that fixed definitely for tomorrow. So you'll be able to open up the app and watch severe weather coverage. Again, interactive radar is going to be a great tool giving you past, current, future radar. But make sure that you have all your location services turned on, whether that be your push notifications or your GPS, especially if you're going to be traveling. QR code right there in the bottom right-hand side of the screen will get you everything you need. It takes you to the website, and then you can download for Android or iPhone right there from your cell phone, or just log on to easttnweather.com. It's the easiest way to do it, or just go to the App Store and search East TN Weather, all one word. My branding is all one word when you search for it, so do that. If you are going to be traveling, turn on your GPS location services and notifications. But for some reason, if you don't do that, make sure you add the city location right here at the top of the screen. You can add your city or location, your specific location, put in an address. If you have family members across this part of the country that are expected to see severe weather, put in their actual home address in the East Tennessee Weather app. You can actually put in an address. 100, whatever, so you can actually put in addresses. Let's go to my old home, 5680 East Fair Place. Isn't that funny that you can remember things like that? So there's Centennial, Colorado. That's where I grew up. You save that. Now you go back. You allow all notifications. That's my old house. And so what you do is you slide this bar right here, the temperature bar, and you scroll down, and that's going to change the mapping below it. So again, slide this, add a specific location, put in somebody's address, and you'll be able to get everything you need to know. All right, what else we got here? I appreciate you, Kimberly, but that's not totally true. Good morning, RD. He says, good morning. Hope everyone stays safe during our next weather event. Thank you for keeping us all informed. You're welcome. What do I do now? Okay, Kim says, I live in Liberty Hill area of Washburn, and when we don't, let's see. When you don't have power, you don't have cell service. Ooh, interesting stuff. That's no bueno. Streaming provider. There we go. I was trying to read between the lines there, Scott. Just couldn't. It's always on there. Once I get done with the live, you'll always be able to see. You'll always be able to see that the closed captioning, anyways. Looks like we're gonna start my son's move tonight with the leftovers Saturday morning, right, Tom? Saturday morning. Way to move your schedule, Tom. I'm proud of you. Of course, you're a weather nut, and he's also a Witcher weather watcher. So make sure you obviously stay safe, and of course you will. Yeah, I don't need to tell you that. You know that. I don't even know why I have my microphone on still. All right, let's see. There we go. Don't be scared. Stay informed with the app. 100% agreed. All right, Vince says, we're leaving for New Orleans around 6 a.m. Saturday morning. Best advice? Don't go. Wait till Sunday. I can't tell you what to do, but I wouldn't go if I when people come to my house, we're dealing with a fire right now, right? We had a kitchen fire. That's neither here nor there. Don't worry about that. But everybody's safe and fine, so we're good. It's now just the nuance of trying to get through all of this. But here's the deal. When I ask people, I'm saying, okay, if this were your house, if this is your family, what would you do? I always ask that, especially during the fire. Should we live in the house or should we evacuate because there's soot everywhere? Well, get out. Don't leave or get out of my house. So I'm going to give you the advice that I would give my family. And if we had plans to leave tomorrow morning, I'd say we're not leaving. Not even if I were a meteorologist having to broadcast, right? Just generally speaking, I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't put my family in that danger. So, Vince, that's just my advice. Everybody can do what they want to do. If you do decide to go, as I've mentioned, download the East Tennessee Weather app. It travels wherever you go. GPS service, location services, and push notifications are going to be a definite necessity on that one. If you're going to be traveling, but if you're staying here locally as well. Good morning, Diane from Douglas Estates this morning. Let's see. I'm going to go to a friend's house in her basement for the next 2 nights. I ain't about to be hearing all of these storms. Well, you don't need to go tonight. Everything's fine tonight, but if you have plans tomorrow night, that's probably the best thing to do. Still planning on the show this weekend. Stay safe out there, says Felicia. Thanks, Felicia. Kevin says, good morning from Tansy and Crossville area. Kevin, stay alert. Have a plan, right? You're likely to have tornado warnings across the Cumberland Plateau. You're likely to have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings. Good morning, Janet. How are you this morning? I appreciate you, Krista. I'll get to those later for sure. Let's see. Your son's in a fishing tournament Saturday in Bristol. How will the weather be? Hopefully I answered the question for you already. Of course, you can go back and rewatch this, but we have to watch out for a couple of supercell thunderstorms. Now, I think Tri-Cities area, Bristol area is definitely going to be better, longer Saturday. And so if the fishing tournament gets done by around noon to 2, probably going to be just fine. But at that point, he'd probably have to come back and be on the safe side. Let's see. It's a good question. If you're able to be out of it, it's easier to work without being in it. What's up, Sonia? Birmingham, not good. Long tracked, large tornadoes in Alabama. Possibly today because they're on they're on the southern end of that. I'll show you the big picture for today and tomorrow here, so we can kind of break it down here a little bit more. All right, so there we go. Severe weather outlook. This is the severe weather outlook for the day today, and this is the severe weather outlook for the day tomorrow. So today, tomorrow. That's why I said I wouldn't travel if I were you. And when you're looking at significant storms and large, long-track tornadoes, the greatest probability for that's going to be across the Mississippi River from St. Louis all the way down to Jackson. That does include Memphis is in the bullseye. Nashville's on the cusp of it, so we've got to watch out for that threat. That's for the day today. And then tomorrow, that's going to shift. I'm just change this on the fly. Let's see. Actually, we're going to do this real quick. Do something on the fly here for you. Copy, paste. And so if we looked at tomorrow's significant tornado threat, there's tomorrow's. So you tell me if you want to travel in these areas. I hope the answer is no. I hope the answer is 100% no. All right. What can we expect in Knox County? I'm so confused. I'm trying to figure out. Did I not? If I confused you, I really apologize. Severe weather tomorrow after noon tomorrow in Knox County. Could see isolated strong to severe thunderstorms if they happen from from noon till 7. After 7, a line of severe weather moves its way on through. If I was confusing to anybody, I apologize. I'm trying to break it down and be as specific and detailed as I possibly can. So hopefully that helps you out, Becca. And thanks for the question, by the way. Can I bring the projected model map up? I can. Let me get the projected. I'll show you the big picture first. So here's the big picture. Here's the storms throughout the day today. This is the significant weather that's expected across St. Louis. So right into this area. This is what we have to watch for throughout the day, throughout the evening hours. And again, if you're going to be traveling, it's not like it's going to be super widespread. You're not going to be able to get anywhere. This is 7 o'clock tonight. If you're traveling to Birmingham, Montgomery, great. You'll probably be fine. But watch as this moves. And again, this is just one model depiction. So we need to watch this closely. And again, you realize that the severe weather goes from Friday into Saturday, Saturday into Sunday. It's a 24-hour period. And so here's Saturday morning. These are the decaying storms and could produce severe storms and tornadoes in Nashville overnight tonight. Those are the decaying storms that could throw clouds and also help stabilize our atmosphere in East Tennessee as we get into Saturday morning. So there's 9 o'clock in the morning Saturday. Come to noon on Saturday. And again, we'll have to watch out for these cells right here. These, even though it's showing a big blob of cells, not necessarily. I think we'll have individual cells at that point of the game. And if we see those individual cells, those are the ones that will produce tornadoes and large, long track tornadoes. Then as we get into the afternoon and evening, it's really going to be pushing into Nashville as we get into 4 p.m. And it's going to be pushing into Lexington, Louisville, the Ohio Valley, back into Mississippi, and then starting to work its way back into Alabama. So several rounds of severe weather. Here's 8 o'clock at night. Here we go. Now let's get to 10 and midnight. Now it starts to work its way into East Tennessee. Let me show you something. That's just one model depiction. Let me show you another one. Let me just pull something up here real quick. I'm going to pull up a high-resolution model. This is going to be, this is the high-resolution NAM, okay? So this is the high-resolution NAM model. Let me take this off. All right. So this is the high-resolution NAM. So this is a different model forecast to look at. And again, as we progress through time, everything should be smooth sailing for the most part for most of the day today. We are going to have flight cancellations today and tomorrow because we've had blizzards, we've had heavy snow across the West Coast, and now severe weather is going to ramp up. Notice the severe weather that's going to ramp up with this model forecast. Let me take off this surface analysis here. There we go. Let's see. We'll take this off so you can understand this better. All right. So again, from now through 7 o'clock tonight, great weather today. But look at the storm starting to fire up right around Kansas City, Springfield. Then we get into the 8 o'clock hour. So this is going to be a late evening event. There's St. Louis by around 10 to midnight. That's what's going to produce tornadoes, damaging wind, extreme hail out of those storms. Then we come through the overnight hours. And then we get into 6 a.m. Saturday. So those are those showers and thunderstorms in Nashville, down into Mississippi and Alabama. And then as we get into Saturday morning, we'll have to watch for these showers and thunderstorms. And then as we get past the lunch hour, now we have to watch out for this warm sector. And then the severe storms that will push back through late Saturday into early Sunday. So again, this model is about 2 hours slower than the other model. But the point is let me just push play. Again, to get kind of an idea of how this all evolves over time. So again, just realize this is not like an all day. This is not like from sunrise to sunset, everyone's going to get blasted by tornadoes. That's not the case one single bit. It's the case of we're going to see severe weather break out, especially during the peak heating of the day. That's the kind of event that's going to be. So traveling, you're going to be fine traveling today. But the problem is you put yourself into danger because you're putting yourself into an area that is expected to have extreme weather. Let's go back to the chat. Let's see. Good morning, my Mike and East Tennessee weather friends. My daughter has your app downloaded, ready to leave for spring break on Sunday. Perfect. Spring break should be fine on Sunday. However, if you are traveling to the East Coast on Sunday, as our cold front slides east, we'll see more severe weather there. Oh. Yes, I got you. Pertaining to the fire restoration. I got you, Mel. I got you. I smell what you're stepping in. It is. And so they clear everything out, then they clean up the house, then we'll move back in. All right. Will Saturday be a washout at Dollywood? No. I don't think it is at all. We're not talking about an all-day rain event. We're talking about a few scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms across the plateau early Saturday morning, and then we'll recover. And then Saturday afternoon, we'll watch for isolated severe storms, not like a big batch of rain, isolated supercells possible. And then the heaviest rain comes through after about 7 o'clock Saturday night. Let's go back to this map here. But the problem is this. You know, all the that's the problem. So again, everybody's not out of the woods, but it's not an all-day storm event, if you will. And so if you bring it down to the local level, this is our risk level for Saturday and Sunday. So it's definitely elevated. And when you look at the tornado risk, we're elevated by the Storm Prediction Center. We have a significant probability for seeing tornadoes based on the ingredients in the atmosphere. And so, no, it's not going to be an all-day washout. You should be fine. I do think that, listen, if we don't get those afternoon thunderstorms to develop and we don't get anything until after 7 o'clock at night, great. That would be awesome, right? That would be amazing. You'll be able to get out to the Shamrock Festival. However, if you have plans to celebrate St. Patrick's Day tomorrow night, that's when you're really going to want to stay on top of it and say, okay, well, just make sure you understand what's going on around you. That's all I can say. Just make sure that you understand what's going on and be alert. Be vigilant of the weather around us. Will it get cold with this storm? No, we're not talking snowfall with this storm. Morning, Jennifer. Good to know. You're welcome. Rain chances today. Not expecting any rain today. Should be a partly cloudy to mostly sunny day. No, we're living in a hotel, Katrina. We are living in a hotel right now, but I'm in the studio right now, obviously. So I come back here, take a shower, and then come to the hotel. All right. Is it safe to travel to Montgomery, Alabama? What day are you traveling? And again, if you miss this, Misty, I'd say I would wait till Sunday. But if you plan on traveling, just make sure you have a way to receive weather information and alerts. And again, the QR code is in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. That will give you everything you need to know for watches and warnings and all severe weather information. Now, of course, if I'm doing live severe weather coverage here and you're there, that's not going to do you any good. And if you are going to be heading down to Middle Tennessee, Northern Alabama, make sure you download the Tennessee Valley Weather app or check them out on Facebook. They're my friends over there that are doing exactly what I'm doing here in East Tennessee, and they're going to be broadcasting live through the entire event as well. So you'll be able to watch it as it moves its way out of Middle Tennessee, and then I'll pick up the coverage and start start doing severe weather coverage once it starts to work its way into the area. And I may even start to do severe weather coverage sooner than that. So again, have push notifications turned on your cell phone, because I will send out a push notification saying I am live with an update with severe weather. I may come in and just do updates every once in a while and say, okay, we're still good. We're still good. We're still great. But the storm is to our west. Now we have some cells to our south in Alabama and Georgia we need to watch. As those come up northward, that may be a thing. So having the push notifications on with the East Tennessee Weather app will let you know every single time I do any sort of live weather update. So we can all stay up to date on exactly how this is all going to play out. So traveling in the morning Saturday from Loudon will be okay. Yeah. I mean, likely. Likely that's going to be the case. Good morning, Deborah. Have a great day. Good morning, Teresa and Katrina. So we just need to watch until afternoon around Maryville for the Living History weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and just windy. Come see me at Sam Houston Schoolhouse tomorrow if you're going to be out and about. You'll be able to get some errands done. We're not talking about severe weather. Now, we could have a couple thunderstorms tomorrow morning, depending on how fast those storms decay or weaken out of Middle Tennessee, but likely more likely for the plateau more likely for the plateau in Middle Tennessee. But the atmosphere, we saw this yesterday. The atmosphere is primed, and so that's what we need to watch for. Yesterday was a very good sign of how primed the atmosphere is. We had plans to eat and shop in Knox Saturday, but changed our plans because of this system. Well, thank you, Brandy. Again, you'd probably be fine first thing in the morning. Maybe today's going to be a better day to do that. Or better yet, just postpone till Sunday. It'll be a little bit more comfortable, and you'll be able to get out and about and do things a little bit more efficiently. All right. Guess what? It's 6:40. We talked for a long time. If you're still sticking around, thank you. But now's the time that we actually go to the national holidays. We got to lighten the load a little bit here, right? So here are your national holidays for the day today. It is March 14th, so celebrating birthdays and events. There we go. Scott says, consider charging a charging battery bank so you've got something to power your devices if your electricity fails. Great stuff. Emergency kit. All these kind of things should be part of what we do. David, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you being here this morning. Let's see. What do you think about baseball in Chattanooga on Saturday? Maybe clear until 7-ish. We have to watch out for storms in Chattanooga coming in from Alabama and Georgia. So do we get the games in? Maybe. But I think you're probably one of those things that you just kind of have to see how it all plays out. Now, a line of storms after 7 o'clock. So if we don't get anything Saturday afternoon because we just don't have the instability and all the ingredients aren't coming together, or we just don't get those discrete single-cell supercells, then we're still looking at still a severe weather event after 7 o'clock on Saturday night. All right, so national holidays for the day today. National Write Down Your Story Day. Oh, that's kind of cool. Write down your story. Now, my kid wrote down a story about our house fire and, at school. So the teacher sent it to us, and she was cracking up. Not cracking up, but just cracking up and what his perspective of his story was. National Write Your Own Story Day. All right, National Children's Craft Day. Always a good day for that. Maybe gather some crafts, and if you have to take shelter into the basement, bathrooms, take the crafts in there so the kids can kind of get their mind off of what's going on if you have to take shelter. Hopefully we don't have to do that, but it is a possibility, and so that's why I want you to stay alert. It's National Learn About Butterflies Day. Butterflies are so cool. We actually did. One of our friends gave us a cocoon that he found. He said he had a bunch of them in his yard, so he gave one to our kids. It didn't do anything. We had it for like 2 months. Looked like that piece of dirt. Let's call it a solid piece of dirt is what it looked like. And it just never did anything. It moved around for a little bit, so I don't know if it was supposed to be hanging and it died. I don't know. National Pie Day. Oh, it is March 14th. Happy National Pie Day. 3.14 infinitely. Blah, 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 on and on and on. And we've got National Potato Chip Day. Who doesn't like themselves some potato chips, huh? I do like me some potato chips. That is for sure. All right, those are your national holidays for the day today. Traffic's running smoothly on the interstate system. It is 6:44. Hopefully you got all the information you need. Listen, I will continue to break things down as we progress through the day. Make sure you check in on your daily forecast weather updates. I'll continue to fine tune if I need to. Listen, just tune in to all my forecast weather updates at noon and 6 p.m. I will let you know if anything has changed. If nothing's changed, you can be like, oh, okay, nothing's changed. I still know what's going on. Or you can really help the platform out and watch it. Either way, make sure that you stay informed and stay in the know. And again, right there, the East Tennessee Weather app is going to be your best tool for staying alert. Not only because I can broadcast live on the app, not only because you'll get push notifications when severe weather happens, but you'll get lightning data, push notifications for storms approaching, push notifications when I do live severe weather coverage. It really is. And the app was designed by a severe weather company. Not just a weather company, but a severe weather company. And that's why the app actually be honest with you, is my favorite app, and I didn't even design it. And I'm not just saying that because I run it now under my name, but literally, it is literally hands down one of the best weather apps I've used. The interactive radar gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. So listen, if you're going to be traveling and you all of a sudden get an alert, go to there. It'll give you an idea of the timing based on what's going on right now and how that progresses into the future over 2 hours. So it's a great tool there. All right, my friends, we sure hope you have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to all the East Tennessee weather platforms, from Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, to social media. I'll keep you posted all day long. Live Wake Up with Witcher starts off at 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Tune in. Of course, you'll tune in on the app as well. I'll get that link fixed today, so the app will be working. All right, my friends, be safe, be kind to each other, have a great day, prepare for our possible severe weather on Saturday, and make sure you tune back in. We'll see you then.